This video is brought to you by Mubi, a curated streaming service showing exceptional films from around the globe. Get a whole month free at mubi.com/Cinemonika. Welcome to Cinemonika. It's that exciting time again where we all share our favorite movies from the year. This is all subjected to me, so this is my personal list. And I'm even more excited to read your comments on what your favorite movies of the year were. So please let me know in a comment, and let's just get started. Coming in at number 10 is a movie called Triangle of Sadness. I honestly have never seen a movie like this one before. Triangle of Sadness is about a group of incredibly rich and affluent people on a luxurious yacht, which tragically sinks and they end up on a deserted island. In this island, their hierarchy turns upside down, with the workers coming on top, making the rich people work to survive. And it's basically a satirical look into these incredibly rich people and their entitlement, what they would do for money, in this case for survival. It's extremely interesting and it just leaves you with so much to think about. But not only that, it is so funny. But I must tell you guys a warning, because it turns so freaking disgusting and gross at one point. There is a lot of bodily fluids, coming out, and it doesn't leave anything to the imagination. So I'm just saying, if you plan to watch this, don't eat anything before or during. My absolute favorite part of the movie was the third act. Dolly De Leon, which is a Filipino actress, she did an incredibly phenomenal job, and I believe that she deserves an Oscar nomination. I can definitely say that her character and her acting were the best part of this movie. Alright, moving on to number 9. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Oh, wait, I have a little Marcel. Look at my little Marcel. This is definitely the best thing I've purchased this year. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On is a mockumentary. It is a mix of live action and animation, stop motion, and honestly, it is the most adorable thing that I have seen this year. But don't be fooled, it is not only adorable, it's also such a deep movie. It's about a little shell called Marcel. He lives with his grandmother Connie, who is also a shell, and he has a pet lint named Alan, and they live quietly in this house until a documentary filmmaker moves in, and he starts doing a documentary on Marcel's life. He learns that Marcel and his grandmother were once part of a bigger community of shells, but something happened that they all got separated and Marcel and his grandmother got left behind in that house. Like I said before, this movie is extremely cute just because Marcel himself is just a cute little guy. There's really a lot of life lessons that are shared throughout the film. His grandma is pretty old, he doesn't have his family, and all that he wants is to be reunited with them. It's very sweet and tender, extremely emotional, touching. Aside from that, the cinematography is absolutely beautiful, as well as the art direction. I mean, it was really clever the way that they used, common, just human things to make their little houses or beds or whatever, even like cemetery. It was just really clever in that way. It's just a wholesome little movie, and I absolutely loved it. Moving on to number 8, Tar. Tar is a movie I didn't expect to like that much, but to be honest, it was extremely captivating. It's about an orchestra conductor named Lydia Tarr. She has achieved so much in her career. She is just one of the best there is. She is also an incredibly toxic manipulator who uses her status and her fame in her favor. The movie is a look at Lydia's life as she navigates these allegations that are thrown at her from her previous subordinates, as well as preparing for this big symphony that's supposed to be one of the biggest events of her career. This movie is incredibly subtle. It never really throws things directly at you, which I absolutely love. It's really slow, a little bit chilling. You really feel like Lydia Tarr knows everything around her is crumbling because of her awfulness as a human being, but her pretentiousness, her entitlement, and her talent makes her kind of ignore all of that and continue as if everything's normal. Cate Blanchett's performance was absolutely incredible. That woman really blows my mind. This movie was just intense. It creates anxiety in a very subtle way, like I said before. And the ending, I'm not gonna give out spoilers, of course, but the ending was so interesting. Like, it doesn't really match the rest of the film, but very interesting ending. Moving on to number 7, Decision to Leave. Decision to Leave is a murder mystery about a climber who is found dead at the bottom of a mountain. A detective arrives to the scene and he starts to investigate the climber's wife. The wife and the detective start to have this deeper relationship. He is investigating her, but at the same time, he really becomes kind of obsessed with her. There is a lot of deception, a lot of desire, and it just becomes this twisted romantic thriller. This movie was so entertaining from beginning to end. It was twisty, it was unexpected, and the cinematography was absolutely beautiful. Like, there's so many shots in this movie I wanted to screenshot, have as my wallpaper. If you love thrillers with a dash of romance, then this movie is perfect for you. It was directed by Park Chan-wook, who directed Oldboy and The Handmaiden. It also has a lot of cinematic influences, including Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo. It's honestly a must-see from Korean cinema. There's so many great Korean films, and this one's definitely added to that list. Park Chan-wook won Best Director at Cannes Film Festival, and Decision to Leave is the official entry for South Korea for the Academy Awards. Moving on to number 6, The Menu. The Menu is such an interesting movie. I did not know what I was gonna watch when I went into the theater. It's a movie about these rich people who have paid for this super exclusive Michelin star, extremely expensive restaurant experience. And the chef there is supposed to be, a really incredible famous chef. All of the characters are either foodies or people with a lot of money that can spend on something like this, except for Anya Taylor-Joy's character, who was just somebody else's plus one. She definitely doesn't understand what all the hype is about. She's the only one that really thinks how ridiculous all of this is. Honestly, so far it sounds pretty interesting, but it has this twist. The chef and the staff are planning a really unforgettable experience that turns tragic. This is a very thrilling movie and a very funny movie as well. In this movie, we see the extremely rich get humiliated, which I feel like it has been a common topic in movies this year. And it's a satire of this really, elite, kind of pretentious food experience, This movie takes Eat the Rich to the next level. I can't recommend it enough. It is so funny, so good, so thrilling. Number 5 is Inuo. Inuo is a movie directed by Masaki Yuasa, and it is set in feudal Japan, where this person named Inuo is born deformed. He was born deformed because of an ancient curse. He meets this musician who is blind named Tomona, and they decide to create this duo where Inuo dances and sings and Tomona plays the biwa. It progresses into this extremely rock psychedelic duo whose performances are praised by everyone. This movie is so unique. I have talked about it a lot on my channel as well because I was blown away by it. I already love Masaki Yuasa films, but this one is honestly on another level. It is a complex story with tons of layers and history. It is so grand, so powerful, and honestly so much fun. When I watched it, I really couldn't stop thinking about it. Absolutely love the animation style. Best anime movie of 2022 for sure. 10 out of 10. Moving on to number 4, Nope. Nope is the latest movie by Jordan Peele. You guys have all probably watched it already. It's about these siblings who own a ranch, and after a series of really strange events that have happened, they decide to capture video evidence of this unidentified flying object in the sky. To be honest, the more I think about it, the more I believe that this is my favorite Jordan Peele movie. I feel like Nope is his biggest and most fun movie yet. The thing about Jordan Peele is that he knows how to write comedy. I mean, he's a comedian. So these horror movies are also filled with extremely funny dialogue and scenes. Don't get me wrong though, as much as I laughed watching this movie, it was also horrifying. The scene with the chimpanzee, that was a lot, as well as the other scene. If you guys have watched it, you know what I'm talking about. Of course, another thing I love about Jordan Peele movies is the social commentary. I mean, Nope was a lot about spectacles, right? And how humans treat animals just for entertainment, what a lot of people would do just for that, 15 minutes of fame, and how that goes against the animal's nature. Extremely smart, scary, and fun. Oh, and of course, Steven Yeun's in this movie, so it's automatically a 10 out of 10. Moving on to number 3, After Sun. After Sun is a movie that I debated on watching just because I knew that it was about a girl and her relationship with her dad, and I feel like I just wasn't ready to watch something like that. But to be honest, I'm really glad I did because it's such a tender, emotional, and sweet movie. The movie is about a girl who is reminiscing about her memories spending time with her father during a holiday trip. It is very dreamlike and gentle and just very heartwarming. We see so many of their memories and their time together, some happy memories, some sad memories. This movie is absolutely stunning and it will definitely break your heart. There's nothing you can do about it. You will cry, so grab your tissues before watching it. It really has a feeling of melancholy and just this nostalgic vibe that it will just shatter your emotions. Definitely the most beautiful movie this year. Alright, we have reached the top 2. Number 2 is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Everything Everywhere All at Once is a movie that has been everywhere all at once. I have not seen a movie like this ever in my life. It is so unique, so incredibly fun and weird and just rare. It is a gem. It's about this family of immigrants. They have a laundromat and they're really struggling with taxes. Not only that, but they're also struggling with their own relationships. Enter the weirdness. This is a multiverse movie. The protagonist, Evelyn, she has to travel through the universes of all of her different lives that she could have had in order to save the world, and also in order to save her relationship with her daughter. I need to read the script of this movie because I cannot comprehend how someone could make a movie like this. Sorry, I'm just reading here that Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Deirdre, her full name is Deirdre Beaubirdra. I did not know that. So we explore Evelyn traveling through all of these universes, each of them extremely different and weird and just exciting. This movie is exciting. It's also extremely deep and it really deals with, those dysfunctional relationships. It really goes deep into what it's like to be an immigrant in the United States. And to be honest, this movie also made me cry. I know it wouldn't seem like it would make anyone cry because it's an action movie. But honestly, those talking rocks made me cry. So this movie achieved something that I find so remarkable, and it's, making this extremely fun adventure action movie, but also to make it extremely sentimental and deep and emotional. Whoever says that this movie is overrated just wants to, go against the current. I mean, no, okay, you can not like this movie, of course you can. I don't know, it doesn't compute in my head. It's so good, it's perfect. Probably technically the best movie of the year. This should be the best picture winner, but I didn't put it at number 1 because the movie that I did put at number 1, it just spoke to me in a different way. But anyways, I'll talk about it later. The performances from Michelle Yeoh, Stephanie Su, Ke Huy Quan, they were all Oscar-worthy performances. This movie is magic. And now my number 1 movie of 2022, it is Bones and All. Is this a shocker? I don't know. Bones and All is the latest movie by Luca Guadagnino and it stars Timothée Chalamet and Taylor Russell. It's a cannibalism movie, which I honestly didn't expect to be a number 1 for me. But this one is like no other cannibalism movie that I have ever seen in my life. And to be honest, it's not like any other horror movie that I've seen in my life. This movie perfectly mixes so many genres, including horror, coming of age, romance, and road trip movie. It's about this girl who is a cannibal, but she can't help it. It's something that she was born with, and her dad really struggles with that because it's his daughter, but she has this thing that she can't control. She meets this other guy who is also a cannibal, played by Timothée Chalamet. They spark this romance, but they're also both really struggling with different things. She doesn't feel like she belongs anywhere. She feels really bad about being a cannibal. Others, like Timothée Chalamet, have learned to accept it, but she's still trying to hold on to that humanity that she has, even though it's just something that she can't control. This movie is absolutely beautiful. The way that it's shot, the art direction, the cinematography, everything, just looking at it, it is a work of art. And honestly, I'm not surprised. Luca Guadagnino, from what he has done before, I mean, Suspiria, Call Me By Your Name, those are all just beautiful films to look at. I had never seen such a sweet movie about being a cannibal. I love coming of age movies, romance movies, and this movie was all of that with that twist of cannibalism, which made it just very, very interesting. The performances were so raw, no pun intended. So deep and so heartbreaking and tragic. I really recommend this movie. Alright, those were my top 10 favorite movies of 2022. There's still lots of movies that I haven't watched that I really want to watch, such as Babylon, The Fabelmans. So please let me know your top 10 movies of 2022. What movies do you recommend for other people to watch? By the way, guys, 2 of the films on my list are streaming exclusively on Mubi, so you can watch them now. Decision to Leave is streaming in the US, UK, and many other countries, and Aftersun is streaming in the UK and many countries. Mubi is a curated streaming service dedicated to elevating cinema from all around the globe. Each film is thoughtfully handpicked by Mubi's curators. Mubi is one of my favorite streaming services because it just offers great cinema that you can't really find anywhere else, especially on streaming services. It's like having your own little film festival in your laptop or in your TV, literally at your fingertips. There's a lot of iconic directors as well as amateur directors. You can find so many hidden gems because there's just always something new to discover. You can try Mubi free for 30 days at mubi.com/Cinemonika. That's mubi.com/Cinemonika for a whole month of great cinema for free. You guys should definitely try out Mubi and check out Decision to Leave and Aftersun, 2 of the best movies of the year in my opinion. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.